Get the first pick of the 2022 draft and take more money.
This is a huge reason why we're doing separate shows, because we're never going to get monetized with crap like that.
What? What are you talking about? There was nothing vulgar there.
There was nothing there.
There was nothing there. It was stick
people
figures.
are seriously tuning in and they're going, "What the fuck is Duper yelling about already?"
Yeah, exactly. Nobody even knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see like a blurry camera on Rick this entire time, it's so we can get monetized. That's all.
Because it said literally just stick figures, 2 stick figures, and it says begging for a pegging. It's a sticker I got for Christmas.
All right,
It's
Rick.
funny.
On this episode, break us down. What are we doing?
All right, so this one we're gonna go through the holy shit that happened. Actually, holy shit! Exclamation part.
Point.
That happened. Did I say part? I said part.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
And this is a continuation of our draft. So check out our other episodes where we basically break down all the events of 2022 in draft form.
Greg
where
will
we
link
pick
it
our
here
biggest
or here
moments.
or here.
Any questions, feel free to email us at info@takewarningnetwork.com too.
And if you
Or
guys
comment below.
disagree, and if we missed any major stories, tell us below in the comment section, please.
Yeah, really, please don't email us. Put it in the comment sections. That's where we're going to look for all the answers here.
Nobody's
I,
ever read those emails ever. So
I go through and
I
clean out
mean-
the inbox. That's all.
if you want your empty thoughts to go somewhere to an empty mailbox, send them to that email address that Rick gave, because they're just going to be empty. There's
That's
nothing
true.
there. Sorry.
All right, so this is kind of another pop culture, but this is more about the events and not necessarily about like movies and TVs and all, like we just did movies, TV shows, and all that nonsense. Now we're actually getting into just the random shit that happened that was kind of pop culture. For this draft, I'm sorry, it wound up being Dupe with the #1 overall pick. Goes to Lee, Greg, and then myself. So just kick it off, please. I'm confused.
Oh, okay. So hands down, the biggest story. Like first off, I didn't make this list. I'm just picking from what was given me. Dude, Congress held a hearing on UFOs. UFOs are real. Like that's not the biggest news of the year. That's huge.
You're gonna shit on the list and then pick something from the list and then love it. Like, how does that work? I didn't make this list, but I love this choice here that's on the list.
Yes,
Yeah.
UFOs, they're real, man. So they were renamed to UABs, I think, right? Something like that.
Yes,
But,
UAVs.
dude, yeah, UABs, UFOs, they're real. They didn't confirm any on life, but UFOs are real. So we're just a couple years away from aliens being confirmed as well. I'm so excited about this. This is hands down the biggest news ever.
Is it the biggest news ever yet? Nothing's happened yet. We're waiting. In a couple of years, it'll be the biggest news ever. But according to the first show in this series, there might not be us anyways in a couple of years, thanks to the end of the world starting.
Right? Russia's kicking that shit off.
Jesus Christ. All right. Lee, what's your
Russia's
#1
kicking it
overall
up.
pick?
My #1 overall pick for holy shit that happened is Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock.
The slap.
The slap heard round the world.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
It was so
pretty
weird
good.
too, because like at the beginning, like Will Smith is sitting back, he laughs at the joke. Jada like transports her mind into Will Smith. You see it happen. I'm pretty sure she might be associated with Neuralink, and then he goes up there and slaps Chris Rock.
For all those English-speaking folk out there, that was Neuralink, as in
Neura.
neurological.
Neuralink.
Neuralink.
All right. I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, it was pretty incredible. And then the great thing about it is, like it was just did we do a whole show on this last year?
We did.
I feel like we did.
We did.
Because it was just so incredible. Like that.
That show was
amazing.
called We Don't Talk About Jada. No. And it'll be linked right here in case you guys want to check that out.
Yeah. That was a fun one. All right, Greg, get your first pick out.
Dude, if there's one thing that was actually talked about, at least on the same level as those, I think this was talked about more than the congressional hearing on UFOs, but it had to be the Johnny Depp Amanda Heard trial.
All right,
that took months of this year with Amanda Heard's lying ass or doo
God,
on the
and
bed
people
sheets.
fucking ate it up too.
She
did.
shit on a bed.
Yeah.
There's so much. She shit on a bed. Like, God damn it. And she's so hot. It's so weird. Like, I love it.
It was
Is it weird?
so weird
Great
that it was
life.
such a big story, because like it's just a domestic incident that happened between two people, and yet we're so obsessed with celebrity culture that it was maybe more talked about than anything else here, including aliens.
Which is crazy because aliens, but
What if Amber Heard's an alien?
ooh.
Makes you wonder
Oh,
what they were
man.
covering up, huh, Duper?
It does, right?
Okay,
'Cause-
so
Yeah. I know
my
it makes
number
me,
one,
makes me think about it.
there'll be a show about that coming in the network. We're gonna have talks. So my number one overall pick this year, it's got to be Kanye losing his goddamn mind. Like he is fucking overboard at this point. He hates the Jews. Even when Alex Jones literally looks at you on his own show and says, "Okay, bro, you need to calm down." This is fucking Alex Jones. This is Sandy Hook Alex Jones.
Uh,
And he said, I don't believe what Kanye's saying right now. Holy fuck. You have gone overboard. Dude
Yeah.
lost $500 million in like 40 hours. Like just
Yep.
because he made because he made horrible statements about
Yeah.
Jewish people, and then he went out and supported that. Yeah, I love Hitler. Like shit like that. You know, like he's just gone crazy. It's been interesting.
The Kanye thing, though, is like what is true and what's not true in what he's saying, right? Because like he said so much stuff, and he was just going off like a machine gun, and then he disappears out of everything all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But I mean, just he did allude to like medicating celebrities and threatening celebrities as to what they say and what they do.
Mhm.
Maybe there's some truth to that, right? But the anti-Semitic stuff, he lost everybody with that. He went way too far. So now it's just really about determining what was credible that he said and what wasn't. And I don't think anybody's putting any thought into that.
I don't think anybody's going to put any effort into trying to figure out what's
No.
credible because of the
Oh,
shit he said.
and
Yeah.
don't forget, he also he got divorced this year too, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He certainly did.
That ties
Yeah,
into
it's,
my number, to my pick, though. Very
Hey, hang
well.
on. What, Greg?
Oh,
Yeah, no, you are first.
No.
overall.
Do pass first.
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead,
yeah.
dude.
Alex Jones was ordered to pay over $1 billion to families of the Sandy Hook. So back to back, Alex Jones is involved. Dude, it's kind of insane, right? Because Alex Jones was irresponsible in the things that he said, but to pay out $1 billion, that's crazy.
Over multiple lawsuits too. That's not just one lawsuit. I think that's like through the span of like 3 or 4 different lawsuits. I think.
It's
Yeah,
crazy. I mean,
and,
What I don't like about it is the
and a
precedent
federal
that it set.
judge denied his request for bankruptcy too. On top of
Mhm.
that,
But how can he pay that back? Like it
that
really
dude
is
has money.
just-
Get the fuck out of here.
not that kind of money. Come on.
Well, he won't anymore.
yeah, I mean, you also have to look at it. They're looking at, and from what I understand, the money was based on the revenue he made since he started talking about Sandy Hook. And they're like, okay, well, you made all this money saying very inappropriate shit about the Sandy Hook massacre, and this is what you're going to pay back to those families in restitution, which is basically what you made. So I could see that, and that company was worth over $1 billion at one point. Infowars, right? That's what it's called. So Infowars is still a huge, highly profitable company because people haven't stopped believing crazy shit. So obviously they just had Kanye on, so things are going well for them. That I don't know. That's I think whatever, dude. $1 billion. They just really wanted to hurt him.
Yeah, but that's the part I don't like about it, right? Is coming after somebody for freedom of speech is kind of dangerous. He shouldn't have spread the things that he spread about Sandy Hook. It was irresponsible. But $1 billion also seems a bit excessive.
So it's a free speech problem. I see what you're saying. It's free speech for him to be able to say those things. But how do you hold him accountable for the damage that's being done by what he's saying freely
is there damage being done?
to those families?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were getting death threats. They
Now-
had problems. Like they had problems for a dozen years now. You know, like
Yeah,
or 10
and
years.
Alex Jones should be directly responsible for paying any kind of security fees or anything of that sort for those families, right?
What about the
that would
mental
be
health
just
damage?
right.
What about the fact that they don't have their kids anymore? And
But he's not the one that
they've-
killed those kids.
No, but I mean, they have to already deal with that. But at the same time, they're now piled on with this.
the
crazy
punishment towards Alex
conspiracy.
Jones was greater than the shooter himself. Now words actually impact society more than actually going into a school.
What
and
happened to
shooting
the
up
shooter?
kids. I think he shot himself, right?
So he took.
I don't remember if he got.
He took an easy way out. That doesn't
yeah.
necessarily mean that like that you can't use that. That's apples and oranges, dude.
I think it was excessive.
We gotta move on.
I don't know.
I gotta move on, dude.
Lee, what's your pick?
Oh, I wasn't listening because you guys started doing the thing where you go off and start fucking talking, so I zoned out. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed at this actually, because California, Washington, and Oregon decided that they were going to ban the sale of gas cars by the year of 2035.
Yeah.
Fuck is that about? And then what was it like? Oh, was it 2 days after they announced it in California? We couldn't handle the power anymore.
But this is 10 years from now.
I mean, I was kind of frustrated with this, right? And I have thought about this the last couple of months because I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, not only is it going to make it harder for people that can't afford this technology that hasn't gotten much cheaper, but then on top of that, anybody that wants gasoline vehicles, they're going to have a hard time getting them because they're expensive, they're overpriced. So I was frustrated, but then I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, they also set this like 13 years out. And I think what they're trying to do is get the companies that are supposed to be building this infrastructure, that are supposed to be providing this technology, they have 13 years to build a proper infrastructure to make this affordable and usable in the state of California and Oregon and Washington. And really, I think that would spur and this has happened before, right? With California and New York, where they do something in that state and they make it a little stricter, and that winds up becoming a nationwide thing, like emissions. California started the emissions bans in the late 80s, and it actually made a huge difference because it wound up being more federal than it was. Even every state started adopting the same policies, and we do have cleaner air in the United States than a lot of other countries at this point, 30 years on. So there might be potential for something good here. I don't see it yet, but we'll see. But yeah,
you gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's what it's about.
I don't like it.
Duke doesn't like anything. It's my turn, right? I think
it is. Yes.
So it's not on this list, but I'm gonna say it because it applies. But Bob Chapek gets removed as the CEO of the Disney company and replaced or brought back by Bob Iger, the former CEO.
Yeah, big news.
Huge, and it's huge.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Fucking duper.
All right, so
Dude,
we know what
Disney
happened there.
owns like half the corporations in the world right now. So yeah, it is kind of big news. I think Disney even owns FedEx.
All right. Well, this is big news. It's recent, so this is fun. Good old Bill Cosby decided that he's announced he is going back out on tour to return to comedy in 2023. He announced this in December. Bill Cosby's back, everybody. I hope you buy tickets for that.
Wow, you go from Kanye to Bill Cosby.
Yeah, because they're all fucking losing their goddamn mind.
Yeah, Rick, if I was you, I'd avoid picking a black guy again. just avoid that on your pick number 3 there. I had not heard Bill Cosby was going back on tour.
Yeah,
so.
he literally just he said it right around Christmas time. That I'm planning a tour for next year, and it's like, dude, who. Like even though he was funny, right? He was great. He was one of the greatest comedians of all time. That's what he was considered until he turned out to be very rapey. So that changes your perspective of things. So who supports that? Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I can't really buy tickets to go see Bill Cosby without thinking about the fact that he was a known and proven rapist. Like, everybody else got Me Too'd. I might actually go see Louis C.K. because the guy was weird and jacked off on the phone. But there's really no other proof of him being anything other than kind of a weirdo creeper. But whatever. Trevor Bauer, I'd go see him if he pitches for the Dodgers because what he did was consensual and just weird again. But this guy is a rapist. Yeah. What the fuck? Like, that one's pretty hard. Yeah, like real rapey. So
fucking super rapey.
All right. Anyways, Dupe, go ahead.
All right. So, man, which one do I want to do? Do I want to do robot dogs that are going to kill us, or FTX? Let's do the baby bondage, Balenciaga.
I knew you were going to do that one. That's why I left it alone.
It's disgusting. The fact that we're in a society where Kim K will leave Ye for being crazy as hell, but Kim K is still working with Balenciaga after the bondage story comes out with the kids. It showcases where our society is, and that's not necessarily a good thing.
It's weird that we all agreed at the same time about the Balenciaga thing when the story broke. That we never agree on anything, and we were all like, "Well, that's not right."
Right.
Like,
There's no reading
that's
into that and
inappropriate,
saying,
yeah.
okay, this is okay. That there is definitely a movement upon the cultural elites, I guess you could say, where they feel like they can really do anything and they can get away with it. And you are getting introspective into their thought processes and what they do. And it's not a good place. So normalizing things such as child bondage is not something that should be normalized.
Well, I'm sure they just learned right now that we're not there. We're not going to
Maybe
allow that.
no, not at all. I still see people wearing those shirts. I see people wearing those shoes. It's not had the impact that it should. People who are attached to that brand do not care because it's a status symbol. They want to pay that $500 or $600 for a shirt, so then they can walk around and say, "Look at me, I can afford this." They don't care about the brand itself. They don't care that they're promoting child bondage toys, right? Like, it's not a good situation.
Yeah, fuck them.
We need to get back to some moral foundations.
Fuck them.
All right, Lee, what do you got?
So there was a Brazilian singer that was hospitalized in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever hear about that?
Mm-mm.
Her name is Polka.
Polka, P-O-K-A?
Just like that.
P-O-C-A-H.
Oh, okay.
Was she
Polka.
part of the
Yeah,
Gumby
so
series?
she was hospitalized, right? And the reason she was hospitalized is because she refused to fart in front of her partner.
I heard about this.
Yeah, so she ended up having a buildup of methane gas, and she had to go to the hospital for it. And she
Whoa.
said that she says that it was embarrassing to be diagnosed with trapped farts. So ladies, don't hold your farts in front of your partner. It's better than going to the fucking hospital.
Yeah. This was a thing.
Yeah,
This was
Wow.
a real
it
thing.
was a thing.
Kind of crazy that this is the world we live in.
Well,
let it out.
but then letting it out too much can get you in some trouble too. There was that lady who was selling farts in
Yes.
jars and sending it all across the world because guys were buying it because guys are weird.
Yeah, we're gross. We're gross humans. Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's
And
the way
she
it
had
is.
some health complications as well. So let the body do what the body does.
Well, she had health complications because she was eating certain foods to make herself do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And it caused issues.
Like
Yeah.
a severe amount of gas in
Yeah.
foods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
so yeah, farts are a natural occurrence for sure, but we should also not be necessarily chasing them either. So
Greg, what's your next pick?
So I'm going to go with a good one here. And the Suicide Prevention Hotline instituted
Damn
the
you.
988 phone code. So
Yeah,
you've
that
heard
was
us
my,
talk
last
about it
pick
before on previous shows. If you guys are former listeners or current listeners, we take suicide prevention, seriously here at the Take Warning Network. And I think it's a good thing that they instituted that 988 phone code, and hopefully it can help people in need.
This is probably one of the brightest things that's happened in the last year, to be honest. It was huge. It made a huge difference.
It was big.
It will make a huge difference down the line. I don't know. That's what more can you say? That's amazing. So
if it helps people, it's amazing. That's always the thing. It's good to see an initiative put forth to try to help people. Hopefully it accomplishes that goal, right? So I would prefer to see results from it as opposed to just praising the action. So
well, the results will
I'm-
come from people like you and I making sure that everybody knows that it exists. And
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
do.
So
I
spread the
think the
word
more
of
we
it.
talk about it and the more other people talk about it, I think it really will wind up being beneficial. But it's only it's a tool, and tools are made, to be used. So let's use it. Let's tell everybody, use this tool. So that's the big thing here. Dial 988. You ever feel like you just need to talk to somebody? It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be at the point where you're in a suicidal thought process, but talk to somebody. Dial 988.
I'm gonna fucking call him in a second if you guys keep talking.
I feel like this is something that I don't know. Maybe we should test on the show too to see or look more into it exactly what they're doing. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
free
wanna
mental
take
health
away
care
from them,
for
but yeah.
people. I think it's good. It's a great thing. So hopefully the funding remains there and that it is actually impactful to people's lives.
Yes.
Rick, what's pick?
All right, so we had one thing listed on here, but I am going to pick the fall of crypto because that is huge.
Crypto crash, FTX.
Not just FTX,
Oh, I know.
FTX. It was everybody.
Yeah.
But
and-
seriously, who didn't see this coming? I mean,
My
really.
portfolio didn't see it coming. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
mine
that.
neither. FTX was the bigger deal though.
FTX
because-
was the biggest
corrupt
because
from
that
the
was
very
the gold
beginning,
standard,
dude. I mean,
right?
come on.
Well,
Well,
it
no,
wasn't necessarily
FTX was
the
the
gold
biggest
standard.
because supposedly there was money laundering going on
Yeah.
through them too.
Right. Well, this is what they got caught for. They were laundering it to a hedge fund, using the money from buying their coins, their digital currency. They were using that to fund their hedge fund, where they were losing significant money because the stock market's been going to shit, and it
in
got
turn,
caught up.
And a story a lot of people are missing is how much money they were donating to the Democratic Party.
Oh, a lot.
So
they were
because what matters here is that they were stealing from people. Like that's not that it got lost. It's this they were stealing. They made this sound like this was actually fully funded. They have money in the bank. They got liquid assets to show that this can last. And it's that they used FTX as the gold standard that for that stuff, right? NFTs even used FTX coins. So this is what happens when you see crypto fall apart. It's really nothing. It really was nothing, and it still is nothing. And we're seeing that. So
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you're literally putting your hard-earned money into what is essentially just code on a computer.
Yeah, and it was always a bet, and it was a gamble. Anybody who put money into it, hopefully, just put spare money into it and not their life savings, right? So at the end of the day, yeah, my portfolio crashed, but it's okay. It was always more of just a bet than it was anything else. The FTX thing, the same guy who went in to clean up FTX also had to go in and clean up the Bernie Madoff thing.
Mhm.
What was that, Enron? And he said this is bigger, this is worse, and it was more.
I bet.
Really?
It's more intentional. So FTX is a huge story,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's not getting enough publicity. I mean, it's getting quite a bit, but not for the scale and the scope of it.
I forgot to tell you. So he did put a lot into the Democrats, but it turns out he again was hedging his bets and dumped a lot onto the Republican primaries. So
no, he didn't.
There's a bunch
No,
of
he
money
didn't.
going both ways. Yes, there is.
It wasn't a lot of money going both ways. It was a little bit of money going one way and a lot of money going the other way.
There's
It all
still
went to
money
Trump.
going both ways,
Yeah.
regardless.
But no, it's everybody does that.
You get 'em,
Everybody
yeah.
will
Ron
put-
DeSantis took $1 billion.
putting
How much?
putting $300,000.
How much? $1 billion?
No,
$1 billion.
I doubt it. No, he didn't. He's making shit up.
$1 billion
Do we have any,
from what?
The
Putting
billion Bitcoin.
$200,000.
We have honorable mentions.
But,
yeah, what do
but
we got for honorable mentions?
one of the bigger stories coming from the whole thing is that the CEO from FTX, he said the reason he was putting money into the Democrats was because they were the ones that would push his agendas that he wanted, and that part does go to both sides, right? Is wherever you're putting money in is because those are the politicians that will push whatever you want through
Well,
legislation.
usually you are going to fund the team that's on your side.
Yeah.
I don't really pay my enemies
Or
to
that-
be there.
Not necessarily on your side, the side that you can influence towards
Well,
your goals.
Here's the thing. Like, I would not pay for people to do things that I don't like.
Right.
Was that
Yeah.
okay? So yeah. Any honorable mentions?
Yes.
Kevin Spacey was found not guilty.
Exonerated.
Huh?
Exonerated.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was found guilty in civil court, but not in criminal court, which
And they
civil
couldn't even
court.
prove that either.
Well, so civil court, the standards are totally different. So civil court is just kind of you can settle on that kind of stuff. Criminal court, you have to find actual evidence, and he was not found guilty, which is kind of a big story considering that we all kind of turned on that guy.
And I don't think he's going to get it back because of the way he treated the situation. You know what I mean? Like he probably should have just kept his mouth shut and waited until he was exonerated before he put out those weird videos as a character from one of his shows.
House of Cards.
Yeah, it was just a little weird. And to me, like, that's what turned me off. Like, I wanted to see him. I wanted to see what happened, right? Like, because he was part of the Me Too. And we sat back and we learned very quickly, hey, not everything's going to be true. You know, it's just the time where these people are getting nailed. So let's wait and hear it out. And of course, what's his fuck? Harvey Weinstein was obviously a piece of shit. We got that one. There were some people out there, but then you saw, like, when the Louis C.K. thing came out, right? I talked about this earlier in the show, but shit like that happened, and it was like, okay, well, he did shit, but it wasn't what you're making it out to be. And the same thing with Kevin Spacey. We should have waited to hear everything, and we did for the most part, right? Don't pass judgment, but he didn't wait. and he did some weird shit. He kept putting out those videos, and
But who cares, man?
It's
Johnny
weird.
Depp is weird as shit too, right? So I
He
think
cut his fingers.
2022 was a big story of the end of the Me Too movement, which is actually a good thing, and a return to innocent until proven guilty, right? We need to get back into that mindset overall, and quit condemning people right off.
I have an honorable mention.
Yeah.
yes,
The world population hit 8 billion? Oh no, 8 trillion. What was it?
8 billion.
8
8
billion.
billion.
And
That's
Lee,
too many
how many
fucking
of
people.
them are related to you?
Bro, if I showed you my family tree, shit's gonna get wild, and we don't have time to go into depth with that.
All right.
So I
Yeah.
had one honorable mention, and it was the Idaho Killings killer. Those 4
Well,
college
hold on,
kids.
Rick. Hold on, Rick. I think Adam and Eve have a smaller family tree than Lee does. Go ahead, Rick.
Hey, I'm like fucking what's his name? Khan, right?
No, but
You know
they're
what I'm talking about?
but well, first
No.
of all, Lee is much less incestual than Adam and Eve were in that family line.
There-
So-
there gets to a point where you've got such a large family tree that you can't avoid it, though, right?
That's true.
No, everywhere. Fuck, I go to Walmart and I'm like,
At
fuck.
that point, you're just trying to get several degrees away from how close. It's like, third cousin, all right.
I think we're
Best I
good.
can do here. Yeah, no, Idaho Killings. Four co-eds were
Yeah.
killed. It was tragic. Scared the shit out of this quiet college town. They couldn't find the guy for months. They think they arrested the suspect in the Poconos just this past week, the last week of the year. The crazy thing is, this dude is very confident that he is innocent. Like, he's very, very. He feels like his lawyers are coming out like, we've got evidence that you didn't get the guy. And the police are very adamant they have him because they have a connection to him. It's an interesting story, so keep an eye on that for the what happened with that killing. The
Dude,
rest of
there's a
the-
Yeah.
lot of stories out there about innocent men going to jail, and it's because the police are more worried about closing the case than they are about finding who.
This was a nationwide story. That's why. So yeah, that's I don't know,
Elon
it's
Musk
crazy.
challenged Putin to a duel.
We got to put that. in
Never
there.
forget that. Never
Shut
fucking
up.
forget it.
yeah.
When did that happen?
It happened
That
last
happened
year.
yeah, that happened in 2022.
Good for him.
Remember, he wanted to fight him. It was
Yeah.
supposed to
Did
be a
he?
bare knuckle fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
And-
and Putin didn't even respond.
And like the media at this point is getting to the point where they're like, "Oh, Elon's a puppet for Putin, because he wants peace in the Ukraine." No, dude, he just wants to end this fucking war, and that's the most logical thing on the planet, because we don't want to see Lee's and my prediction come true.
No.
Yeah. But I do want to see my prediction come true. So, you hear me, Marvel? I want to
Well,
see the next
Putin
Wolverine.
was scared, man, because Elon told him straight up, if I kick your ass, you leave Ukraine alone.
Yeah, I wish it was like that movie Troy back in the day when we could just
Right?
send our like biggest fighters. Like you
Just-
send your
just
best
go.
fighter, we'll send ours, and that's it. That's all we
And
need.
we have Brad Pitt. Oh my God, we'd win.
Win.
We already have Brad Pitt. He'll show up.
Yeah.
Oh,
He'll do
shit.
that crazy jump stab into the neck thing, and like
Yeah.
it's over. The
Yeah.
whole thing's over. All right,
Guys,
that's it. Let's
let us
wrap
know
this
down
one up.
below who wins the list in your mind. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we will talk to you
Yeah,
soon.
and tell
Seriously,
us
put
what
some
we
comments.
missed.
Help the
And check
algorithm.
out the other shows that we did too for end of year review, end of year drafts right here.
Yeah, we've got more coming.